Hello again from Custom Home Builder Solutions, also known as CHS, a job costing, full accounting, and profit management software for the professional home builder. This is a continuation in a series of videos where I am discussing CHS's ability to track your current estimated costs at completion. We've had previous videos that are about how to do that, but in this case, I'm going to talk about something that we call a contract balance report that CHS offers, and I'd like to show you how, if it is a cost plus type job, having your ECC work sort of up to date and checked can make a difference in that contract balance report. Like I've said before, check mark actual costs as done. If that's all the actual costs you'll be posting, so your ECC will become the same as that. Let's open the ECC worksheet for just a second on the demo job we've been using, which isn't that far along in progress, other than everything I've just been demoing away about. But what I'd like you to notice is that if you check mark all of these as done, as soon as you check mark something as done, the estimated cost at completion will become the same as the amount that you marked as done. I'll uncheck this, but if I check marked this, the actual posted costs that we have were $7,000, suddenly my ECC became $7,000. So you can see that if you had check marks on every single posted cost as done, the ECC, the estimated cost at completion, and this would be near the very end of your job when you are done, would be the same as the actual cost. The ECC and actual cost would be the same. Right now, the ECC, the estimated costs at completion, are a whole bunch more than the actual costs that we've posted. But I just wanted to mention that really you might be using the contract balance report right before closing, taking a look at it, and maybe not quite all your costs are in. So you could go ahead, even if you knew some additional costs or what the cost might really be, you could type them. As you saw in previous videos, you could type it into the Builder Revise column and force the ECC to be that, so you come pretty close to what the customer is owing you. So on the reports, I'm going to show you if you change these into different kinds of jobs, but the cost plus markup job is going to be based on the estimated cost of completion. Like I said, this contract balance report says for more info, and we'll go to this screen in a minute about changing the prices, which we've been on in a couple of previous videos. But you'll notice that this contract balance report says this contract type is cost plus markup. So what it does is go get the estimated cost of completion. Like I say, that can be the accurate costs at the end of the job if you check mark all the actual costs as done. If they're not quite all in and you know something, you might force the ECC for a certain cost to be a certain amount. So it uses that, adds the markup percent that we entered when we were setting this up as a cost plus markup, and then does plus the markup amount based on 25% of the estimated cost at completion, and has your current revised price. Then it takes that current revised price, or if for some reason you've received more revenues than your current price, it'll use that, and then less revenues received, and show you what your contract balance is. As like I said, this would be a lot more valuable at the end of the job before closing, but it can be interesting to look at as you go. Down here it will show a list of all those revenues where it says total revenues received. We received in draw one, we received payment for a couple of change orders. We did receive a down payment, and we did draw one was the total of this, this, and this, but we wanted to mark the change order payment, so I was showing that in a different video about how you do that. When I was talking about change orders mostly, and how to post change order payments just so you can track them. Change orders are a little bit irrelevant. Can't ever say that word. But because this is a cost plus markup, it's just going to be all your costs, whether they're change order costs or not, plus this markup percent. So whether or not you mark these as separate payments, but it's kind of good to track so you can give them a list of everything that you called a change order and how much you show them as paid. So anyway, that's what that report is. You can see how that'd be handy, but let's go ahead and open that original price calculations. We've been here before. And let's change this to a fixed contract. And I've gone over this screen really pretty much in the previous couple of videos. But now you can see that the revised price is the fixed price that we had typed in, plus total of change order prices, plus any allowance adjustments, which we've talked about in other videos, to come up with our revised price. So since it's fixed, we are adding change order prices to the price. This is not a cost plus anymore. So let's take a look at our contract balance report now. Notice that it tells you up here fixed. So I'm going to click that, and we're going to take a look at this. And you're going to see a little bit of difference in how it's taking care of this up here. It's showing you that contract type is fixed, original price, plus the change order prices, plus any allowance over and under. Like I said, we're not very long in this job, so far along, so there might be more of an allowance adjustment if they go over their allowances. Current revised price, less revenues, and since this is a fixed contract, this is the balance that would be due. And as you can see, this would be way more valuable towards the end of the job, but can be interesting now, and I want you to be aware that it's here. Let's take a look if we change this to a cost plus builder fee, which we've talked about before. Right here, you can see here that we have typed in what our builder fee is. This was in our contract. This is going to be our fee. We had our original stuff calculated over here, but now it's taking the current estimated cost at completion plus that fee, plus any change order fees. And in that case, that's the difference. I showed this before, but it's the difference between the price we charge for the change order, the CO price, and the estimated cost. And the difference in that is what we consider some fees we were setting, and that's $2,044.05. Quite often, your profit difference would just be the amount of the fees you're making on change orders. Since you can't anticipate those change orders when you're originally doing your contracts, you might have something about plus any change order fees. So CHS goes and figures out what the fees are on that as best as it can. And then your contract balance report will be, I'm always scrolling down so it remembers that. Cost plus fee is the estimated cost at completion. Again, like I said, at the end of the job, the estimated cost at completion will probably equal your actual costs. Plus your builder fee, plus the change order fees, current revised price, less revenues, then contract balance, amount they still would owe you. So anyway, that's a really handy report to do after you near the end of the job, after you've done lots of draw requests. You'll notice if I go home and I go to the draw request window where you're selecting a job and then creating various types of draw requests, one of the things I have there is also to edit that contract price like we were just doing, and that very same contract balance and revenues reports, and a list of revenues received, and all the change orders, and your allowance over adjustment and how that's calculated. All that information is there. These are the tools I say to use before going to closing. Probably your very last quote draw won't even really be a prepared draw request. It might be this contract balance report instead, saying this is the amount that you owe us now that this job is done. So hopefully that will help you also, and thank you for watching.